So the Reds, they got a corona case. So,
Sounds so disappointed.
maybe it'll somehow help the Reds. I don't know.
Yeah, it might. The break might help.
I mean, it helped the Marlins, so why can't it help the Reds?
Hey, that's true.
Welcome to the one and only Fried Chicken Dingers podcast. We're your hosts, Shabab Amman.
A group of former Little League teammates based in Amman, Jordan.
With a taste for fried chicken.
Join us as we discuss the latest news,
Rumors.
theories,
and opinions in the world of baseball.
Join us monthly for...
Wait. Guys, do you seriously think we're going to be able to do that?
Barry!
Okay, sorry.
Join us monthly for all things baseball from fans of the Yankees,
Reds,
Twins.
White Sox,
Tigers,
Dodgers,
And the A's, right here on Fried Chicken Dingers.
Welcome back to Fried Chicken Dingers. This is weekly wrap number 2. I have returned to defend the White Sox because there were some shots fired last week, but that's fine. This week we actually have quite a few people. We have 6 FCD members. We have news and stuff from the week of baseball.
Yes,
Ready.
news and stuff.
Pasky, you want to open us up with our first bullet point here?
So, early in the week since the last wrap, the A's and the Astros, who, by the way, got swept by the A's. In the third game of that series, Laureano got hit by a pitch for the second time in that game, and it was probably a mistake. It was a rookie pitcher, and Laureano had to teach him how to throw a little bit. But anyway, after that, he
was savage. That was
he took his base, and then the Astros hitting coach, I forget his name. What was it, like Cintrone?
Yeah,
something like that. He started, yelling some stuff at Laureano, and he supposedly insulted his mother. And then Laureano obviously got really mad and charged the dugout. And as he was charging, the other Astros players came up to defend that coach, who stayed away from the fight the entire time. And the benches cleared, and there was a little bit of a fight. And just basically, what was bad about it is that there were a lot of players, a lot of bodies in close vicinity to each other, which is in clear violation of the COVID regulations. And there was a lot of worry that Laureano would get absolutely hammered by whatever ruling that Manfred would decide on, because he broke such a big rule. But on the other hand, the coach did instigate a lot of it, and in the end, Laureano got suspended for 6 games, appealed and reduced to 4, and the coach got suspended for 20, which I think is very fair, given how it played out. And honestly, I don't think it could have worked out any better.
Yeah, unless the Houston coach got more time suspended. That's the only way it could have gotten better.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think he's got one more game.
No, but I have a question about that, because obviously the Astros coach got suspended for 20 games, so a considerably more than Laureano got. But what, I wonder, effect does that have? I mean, my guess would be that Laureano suspension is probably, or has the more potential to affect a team than a coach's suspension.
Yeah.
So I think in situations that arise in the future similar to this, I think they should possibly be even more heavy-handed with the coach, because they have the coach. How much difference does a hitting coach make?
Quite a bit.
I think quite a bit.
Yeah.
Over the course of the regular season,
they're the ones that
considering
you go to
that they're
when you're scuffling, and they give you. They have all sorts of advice. And the Astros offense has been scuffling early on.
And in a 60-game season, 20 games is quite heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
And-
that before the season ever started, they agreed that the suspensions would just be dealt on a regular basis, as if just like they would be in a 162 game season.
Really?
They wouldn't take into account. Yeah, they wouldn't take into account that it was only 60 games.
Yeah, but I do think that it's worse for the Athletics almost to have Laureano gone for 4 games than for the Astros to have the other guy gone. 20 games is a lot more, but I still think Barry is right in the fact that a player suspension for a shorter amount of time is worse than a coach suspension for a longer amount of time.
But I mean,
Yeah.
there wasn't much else to do because it's not like any of the Astros players really started the fight either. So I guess what they did, I think I'm pretty happy with it.
Well, they didn't start this fight.
Yeah, there was also the A's catcher got ejected. What happened with him?
Oh, he was like wrestling Maldonado or something.
Oh.
I don't know. Like when they review he was like something like that. It was just an ejection though. I don't think he got suspended. But yeah, so that's what happened. But to be honest, luckily Laureano's absence, depending on how tonight's game goes, it hasn't really affected us.
Yeah.
4 games isn't that long.
But we'll get to that, I guess. Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to the standings, I guess. Does someone want to breeze through the less important news?
Yeah, so David, you want to take the next one?
Yeah, so right now there are 3 players in the MLB with 9 home runs, and then there are 7 with 8 or more. So the 3 guys with 9 home runs are Trout and Fernando Tatis and Aaron Judge. So to me, seeing Tatis up there is very surprising because he's always been a great hitter, but I didn't expect him to be one of the leaders. So I just think that just seeing Tatis being up there just shows you how good he's going to be. And a lot of people don't know just how good that Tatis is going to be, but he's going to be an insane player in the near future.
You know who definitely didn't know how good Tatis was going to be? Freaking White Sox
Chicago
general
White Sox.
manager Rick Hahn. Trading him for freaking James Shields. What are you doing? James Shields, he was on the team for 3 years? He's the guy that gave up the home run to Big Sexy. You trade him for Tatis? What kind of thought process is going on there? You're rebuilding. You don't need the veterans. Oh my word! Oh, it's gotten to the point. It's gotten to the point where I just get mad whenever I see a Tatis highlight. I'm not mad at Tatis or the person who posted it. I'm just still mad at Rick Hahn. What the heck? Oh my word!
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tatis put up 22 home runs last year in only 84 games, so he was almost on pace to hit 44 in his rookie season.
Yeah,
Of course, he was overshadowed by Pete Alonso.
of course.
That was really his biggest problem last year, as from a power perspective, was as great a season as he had, he was overshadowed.
Right. So I think this is his year to prove himself.
Yeah. Yeah, Alonso's not
San
a problem
Diego's
anymore.
on the uprise. He could be the face of their franchise, and he probably will be for the next couple of years. Him and I think
definitely will be.
Nelson Lamet.
For sure.
Yeah. Could have been on
Yeah.
the Sox.
And Paddock, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Trout
Trout is of
obviously with
course
his
doing everything
Trout.
that Trout normally does.
the father power with his new son. Just 4 home runs in the 5 games after he had his child,
Yeah.
which is just insane.
301 batting average, OPS at 1.039. So just normal Trout year.
Yeah,
So
normal Trout.
It's also a normal Angels year because the Angels are set to miss out on another postseason.
So true.
okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, Caleb, you want to talk about the injuries plaguing the Yankees as usual?
Well, first of all, I did want to talk about Judge for a bit. He surprised me, honestly, to be up there. Yeah, I always expected him to hit a lot of home runs, but he's been a much more complete hitter this year. Now that he was healthy. But it was fun to watch him while he was healthy for once. But yeah, basically, yeah. So Giancarlo Stanton injured yet again. No one's surprised. The man has no legs. We've established that by now. Judge was a bit more surprising. Judge, basically in his press conference, he's completely fine. They just are taking precautions with him, so he's just sitting out 10 days.
That's how good the Yankees are. They just sit their best player for 10 days as a precaution.
Yeah, well, he has some
so true
calf discomfort. So they didn't want it to turn into a grade 1 or grade 2 strain like it did with Stanton, so they held him off. LeMahieu was very surprising to see him go down as well, but yeah, just on a swing, just you could see him in pain clearly, so it's not a good sign. But hopefully he'll be all right and he'll be back with us in no time. But yeah, it's looking a lot like last year with Severino or Judge or State and now LeMahieu. So I'm just surprised Sanchez is there.
Oh yeah,
and they're still gonna win the division by 10 games.
Yeah,
I mean we're so deep.
It's crazy. A $4 billion company is the deepest. What? No one would have thought.
We're not the deepest.
Who ever saw this coming?
That's not why. That's our money.
But Chapman is coming back soon, right?
Yep, he comes back on tonight or tomorrow night.
Oh,
he should be making his debut. But it's not our money is why we're deep. It's because we've picked up players that no one saw would be good.
Sorry for the brief intermission. The call to prayer went off, and you did not want to hear that in the background of our audio. We were just talking about DJ LeMahieu, and that actually leads us into our second point of the night. LeMahieu is one of, what is it? Is it 3 batters? I think it's 3 batters.
Yep.
Hitting over 400. So I'll let Caleb give us a little more info on that.
Yeah, LeMahieu's been so much fun to watch this season. He's the Yankees announcers like to talk about how not every baseball hitter is gifted to hit a ball 500 feet like Judge. So you should replicate LeMahieu, who just hits the ball to all fields. He's the only guy who is standard. They don't shift for him pretty much on the Yankee team. And then he also he loves hitting the ball the opposite way, right field. And yeah, it's been amazing to watch. Personally, I think out of all the 3 guys hitting above 400, he has the best chance to do it. Because I think those guys' averages will fall off a little bit over time, but it'll be fun to watch for sure, and he's someone who can do it. Now, the problem is it's hard to do it when you're injured, so hopefully he'll be back soon, and hopefully he'll get enough at-bats to where it could be considered, but yeah, it should be fun to watch. He's an excellent hitter.
Who are the other guys that are going for that?
Charlie Blackmon and Solano
Okay.
on the Giants.
Yeah, I could see LeMahieu doing that over them, definitely.
Yeah, I think for Solano, he like a couple days ago he was batting 450 and now he's batting 403. So I don't think it's gonna last very long.
Yeah,
Nope.
Blackmon though is batting 446, and he's been doing insane. He also puts up typically a pretty high average, so he has a shot if he can stay hot, but it's just so hard.
Yeah, there was one point in the season where Blackmon was 34 out of 68, which gave him an even batting average of 500.
Yeah.
Wow.
There were a couple times.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I don't think it'll last at least at 450.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But he could hit 400 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see. It'll be fun to watch them all attempt it.
and you never know in this season.
Yeah. Speaking of things, speaking of the 2020 season and not being able to know anything about it, the freaking Baltimore Orioles are on a rampage. They're in the top 10 teams in the league, which is just they're over 500.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yeah.
5 games of.
They've only lost one road game.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
And the it's even crazier part is they're behind the Miami Marlins. It's the Marlins have I'm at a loss for words. This was not supposed to happen.
Well, neither was Corona.
The Marlins have only played one series at home.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But the Marlins are currently leading their division. That would be so embarrassing for all the teams in that division.
Especially the Braves.
That would be so
The Braves and Philadelphia and the defending World Series champions, the Philadelphia Phillies, who spent I don't even know how much on players over the past 2 seasons. And the Atlanta Braves all fell short to the Miami Marlins.
Well, yeah, I mean, all 4 of those teams looked super good coming into the season, but now all 4 have shown cracks. Like the Braves can't. Their offense has been a little subpar, and they've lost their best pitching. So, and the Mets are just the Mets, failing as usual. The Phillies can't figure it out. And the Nats just haven't found consistency with their starting pitching either, or their offense.
Yeah.
So the Marlins are just looking at it and saying, hey, why not? We got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of crack.
Speaking of crack,
The Reds might be on
crack of
crack,
the
you know.
bat.
Oh. Based on how they're playing.
Speaking of crack, the crack of the bat went off 4 times in a row last night for the White Sox. Hit 4 dingers in a row for the second time in franchise history, tying the Nationals as the only franchise to do it twice. And they're the 10th major league team to do it, so that was pretty awesome. Moncada with a 3-run shot, and then Grandal with his first home run in a White Sox jersey, followed shortly by Abreu and Jimenez. So that was really fun to watch last night.
Who were they playing against again?
We were playing against the Cardinals, who are they're back from Corona.
Mm-hmm.
So they've played against the White Sox so far. They swept the first doubleheader, which was embarrassing. And then last night it was 7-2 with the back-to-back. Nice. I don't know. So yeah, the Cardinals are back and they're playing again. But the Reds have a new case.
Yeah.
Jacob, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, not really. So the Reds,
Okay.
They got a corona case. So, you know,
Sounds so disappointed.
maybe it'll somehow help the Reds. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, it helped the Marlins, so why can't it help the Reds?
Hey, that's true.
Yeah. So hopefully it'll help the Reds because they're not doing so well, and they got a corona case at 9/11.
Oh shoot, that's true. They are 9/11.
Oh
no.
So that doesn't help anything.
Oh no. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Well then.
Oh, watch them not play again until September 11th.
I hope not.
Oh,
Please
no.
Do we know who the guy on the Reds is?
No.
No, we don't. I was hoping Trevor Bauer would let it slip in his vlog, but he didn't.
Wait, but do
So
we know?
that's unfortunate.
Do we know if it's a player?
The only person we know it's definitely not. Yeah, it is a player. The only person we know who it's definitely not is Trevor Bauer. Cause
Yeah, it's not Bauer.
we all know he would have taken to Twitter immediately.
Immediately.
Blaming Manfred.
100%.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, so true.
Hopefully it's like
Well, speaking of Twitter and drama, and what's this I see about Clevenger and Plesac?
So, Clevin Plesac, I think you guys touched on this last week, yeah?
No.
Did
Yes.
we?
No.
No? Okay.
Maybe.
So they went out into
No.
the streets of Chicago and were partying, basically. With, I think it was just them two. So that was in direct violation of the rules set forth by MLB and the Indians. And so they were sent back to Cleveland early on their road trip so that they could quarantine themselves. And then I forget who it was. I think it was like Oliver Perez threatened to opt out of the season if they were not like taken off the team, but like if they were not optioned to the alternate site. Or I think what he specifically said was that he would opt out if they joined the team for the series in Detroit. So they were sent down to the alternate site, which is basically the minor leagues this season. So two of their very good starting pitchers, they will be without for probably quite some time.
Yeah.
Wait, but why did he demand that they be optioned? Was it because they might still be contagious, or was it just like to punish them for breaking protocol?
It must have just been to punish them.
No, I think it was a little bit of both. I think in some ways he's like, yeah, they should be punished because they disobeyed the rules and we're all following them, so why they should get punished.
Yeah, you can tell that Francona was mad during the interviews.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When is he not? Yeah, Francona was mad when they interviewed him, but then again, when is he not? But my question is, well, I mean, I don't know why Oliver Perez threatening to opt out was the reason that they sent anybody down. I mean, the dude is... I mean, he's not bad, but...
He's not worth Clevenger and please.
No, he's not.
He's the oldest player on the team.
Yeah, but like... him opting out would probably not be the thing that ruined the Indian season.
I think they might have been worried that other people would follow suit and then be like, yeah, that's true, I'm gonna opt out too. Because there's, like, Cookie, he's pretty much, he's at risk, I think. I think he's categorized as at risk.
Yeah.
So he might have opted out if they stayed with the team.
Yeah.
So I think it was just kind of, not FOMO, but like, they didn't want other people to follow suit.
Also probably like a media thing, you know, if they don't listen to the people who are at risk and then they opt out and then they get interviewed, they say, yeah, because these guys broke protocol, but they're still playing with us. It could be spun into a bad story for the Indians. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor Bauer's prediction on the whole thing was basically that they were going to... essentially, they optioned them down to the minors. And he is predicting that they're probably going to keep them down for 16 games, which is just the amount of time that they need to be off the major league roster to not get a full year of service time for this year, which would push back their arbitration and free agency years back a year.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it was a very, very expensive night out for...
Very copying Bauer's joke, just blatantly, it's fine. Anyways,
Barry, we're going to get like sued or something.
If Trevor Bauer listens to our podcast and sues us, it'll be worth it.
Dude, we're all going to show up to court with like baseballs for him to autograph.
Oh man, but yeah, Clevenger, it's actually 20 games for Clev for that to go into effect, and then 18 for Plesac. So Bauer was technically wrong in the amount of time.
Yeah.
But they still could manipulate service time, which I think is a very, very real possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
The Indians' ownership isn't exactly known for being willing to pay large amounts of money.
You should hear about the White Sox.
Well, whatever it is, it's good news for David and Josh. So.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And me.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Well-
The White Sox are on this list.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry.
Well, speaking of the Twins, should we move into our
FCD Standings. Trademarked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Reds are in first.
Yeah, if we're going by golf rules, sure. All right, Paskey, start us off at the top.
Yes, sir. Athletics at the top, 16-6. I mean, we have played a game less than the Dodgers, and a game more than the Yankees, but still, we're winning, and we've had some crazy comebacks the last few days against the Giants. I almost picked up the Giants closer, before that series. I'm very glad I didn't. But anyway, yeah, I mean, we're winning. We're hitting home runs, late comebacks. It's very exciting to watch them. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I think we have a very good hold on the AL West. I think we're like 4.5 games ahead of Houston, which I think is the biggest gap between first and second from any division.
That's a pretty good gap.
Last I checked. So, if we don't mess it up, I think we're well on our way to clinching the division. The only thing, again, has been our starting pitching. It's still a little shaky at some points, but luckily we have the offense to back it up, and the bullpen especially. Hendricks, the closer, has been lights out. Our other bullpen guys, Soria, let's see what's
Petit.
another. Yeah, Petit, Wendelken. I don't know. It's a good mix, and it's working for us, so I'm happy.
The Yankees are next on the list. They're at 15-6, half a game back from the A's. As you heard before, like half the roster's injured. Unsurprising. And then next on our list is Barry.
The Dodgers and the Yankees are tied. Both half a game back. What do you mean technically? We're tied.
They're tied game back wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, the Dodgers are...
That's fine.
Dodgers and the Yankees are tied. The Dodgers, their bullpen has been outdoing themselves, or at least certainly outdoing the expectations that were set for them. They've really been delivering this year. As far as the offense is going, it's kind of like, I don't think that we're really firing. We're not firing on all cylinders yet. We're still putting up plenty of runs, but that's just how good we are. Even with, a decent chunk of the lineup struggling, we still have guys who can get 5-7 runs on the board in a game, which is really helpful, and that is our success. But we're still making way too many mistakes that should be easily avoided, in my opinion. In the Dodger baseball that I've seen some, really great moments and some pretty sloppy baseball. For example, last night. So, oh my gosh. So, our Rios, our third baseman, he's played a little bit last year, but he was mainly AAA last year. So he hits a double. Well, no, first of all, Chris Taylor hits a ball at 10 miles an hour back to the pitcher. The pitcher bobbles it, drops it. Had he just picked it up and thrown it to first, Taylor wasn't even running. He would have had him by 30 feet. He kicks it back, with his glove. He still could have got him. He then rushes to bring the ball up. He drops it again. Somehow, by the grace of God, Taylor makes it aboard. So then I'm like, okay, that was so insanely lucky. Now let's capitalize on this. Almost immediately, Taylor takes a massive lead and gets picked off, and in the lamest attempt to get back to the bag I've ever seen, gets thrown out so easily, and I'm just shaking my head. Okay, so then Rios is up at the dish. He hits a double. He injures himself, something in his hamstring, I think, on his way to second. As he goes into the slide, he grabs his hamstring.
Oh no!
Dave Roberts comes out, starts talking to him, And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm okay, as he has his hand on gripping his hamstring.
Oh, no.
So, for some idiotic reason that I still don't understand, they left him in the game on second base instead of putting in a pinch runner for him. Then Matt Beattie was at the dish. He hits, what really was a single. And, of course, since Rios is injured, he starts running and he can't run. So he's like literally by the end, like jumping on one foot. And Beattie is trying to squeeze a single into a double and gets thrown out at second before Rios can hobble across the plate. So we didn't get any runs that inning. That was really fantastic. But
that's funny.
Then the next inning comes, and our catcher in his first major league at bat hits a home run, and our offense lights up. Max Muncy goes deep, and I think we scored 8 runs last night. So it's kind of like that. We play some sloppy baseball that should be tightened up, but then we're also still a powerhouse of a baseball team. So I'm very optimistic about our season.
Yeah, and according to MLB, you're at the top. You're still at the top of the power rankings as of today. So
yeah.
Dodgers.
Next on the list.
Insane. That's my. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do a public service announcement.
Oh, great.
That's my public service announcement for the week. Mookie Betts is an absolute beast, and he was worth every penny of that contract.
Pretty much.
Wow.
There you go. Next down on the list, the Snowy Boys up north.
Oh, yes. Well, speaking of snow, Miguel Sano is not doing good. He and Garver are hitting like under 140, and their OPSs are like 500, and Garver won the Silver Slugger last year, and Sano was projected to be like a big contributor this year. But neither of them are, and that's been a huge hole in our lineup. But, of course, we're the Twins, so we still score a bunch of runs, and it's a lot of fun to watch Twins games these days. But on the other side, Randy Dobnak is leading the MLB in ERA. And let's see. He's pitched fantastic, and Maeda has also done well. Odorizzi had a really good start this week, and the only problem really is Barrios, which is shocking because he's supposed to be the ace. He's like 1-3 with a 5.5 or 6 ERA. So, yeah. Rich Hill will probably start this series against the Brewers at home. So, yeah, I mean, if Barrios can find it, then we really have no holes in our rotation, which is a long time coming for a Twins fan.
Dude, it's almost like this 2020 season is like an alternate reality. Not completely opposite, but like it's a season where you have the Marlins leading their division, where teams' aces are actually their worst starters. Anyway, I was just pointing that out.
Yeah, the only thing we're missing is that Chris Davis is winning the MVPs. Yeah. So I'm really excited.
Did you just make a bold prediction?
No. Well, the Orioles' Chris Davis isn't even playing, and the Athletics' Chris Davis is still not good, so... No, that's not a bold prediction.
Okay. Sorry.
But yeah, the Twins are still ahead of the Tribe in the Central Division by 1 game. So we got to keep winning. Yeah.
All right. Next up are the Southsiders, who are 11-11. They're 3 games back of Minnesota in just all standings. The starters have been struggling a lot lately, particularly in the first inning, putting up, I think it was like a 4 spot on Giolito the other day. It was not pretty. Keuchel has been doing really well. He's the only starter that's really like performing how he should be performing. But the real, star of this week for the White Sox has surprisingly been a couple guys in the bullpen, those being Ross Detweiler and Matt Foster. And Detweiler, he's been doing really good all season. I don't think he's let up a run yet. He's just been insane. I don't have his stats in front of me right now, but I do have Foster's. Foster, he's made his debut on August 8th of this year. And so far he's played in 7 games. He started 2 of them. He has 2 wins, 10.2 innings pitched. He's only let up 3 hits, no runs, only 2 walks, and he has 15 strikeouts. Opponents are batting 0.088 against him.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So he is doing really insane for a White Sox bullpen piece, first of all, and for a rookie. So that's who I want to highlight right now. His Ks per walk is 7.5, which is really good. So that, other than the back-to-back home runs the other day, is how the White Sox are doing. After the White Sox, we have the Tigers.
Yeah.
Actually.
They're back below
Tigers.
500.
Back below 500
Tigers have
And will surely
returned
stay
to
there.
their good old selves.
finally. I was getting worried.
I think that's all we need to say about the Tigers.
Yeah. Miguel Cabrera is hitting under 200, and
Oh, no.
and that's the kind of season that they're bound to have.
Well,
Yeah.
it was nice while it lasted. Next.
Well, I think that's all we have for today.
No.
Barry,
No?
are you
Hey.
purposely forgetting Jacob here?
What?
The Redlegs, man.
I'll start off with we're 4 games ahead of the Pirates. Just to make us sound good. But we are actually 4th in the NL Central with 9-11. And we got a corona case, so that doesn't help anything. Well, hopefully it does.
It could.
Yeah, so honestly, our team has not been doing too good. Yeah, our starters have been doing quite decent, but other than the other day, DeSclafani and Wade Miley.
Your only highlight is Trevor Bauer's vlog at this point.
Honestly.
Yeah, and Jesse Winker has been doing
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal.
Winker's been doing great.
Yeah, he hit, I think it was 4 home runs in his last 5 games.
Wow.
Or something
Wow.
like that. I don't remember exactly. But he's been doing really well. Yeah, I think our struggles are relievers and hitters.
Lorenzen.
Lorenzen has been doing awful. And we keep putting him in. So that doesn't help. But yeah, if you want something good from the Reds, you could listen to Trevor Bauer's vlogs. Yeah.
Oh.
Momentum on YouTube.
Yeah, watch Momentum. It's very good insight onto what's happening on the team and stuff. So that's cool.
So yeah. Well, that wraps up the standings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this episode, I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose so. Thank you guys so much for watching, or listening to, rather, this episode of Weekly Wraps, brought to you by Fried Chicken Dingers. We're not sponsored. Listen, watch us, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Good Pods, and wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Except for Google Podcasts.
Because they have standards. It's very sad. We will see you next week on Weekly Wraps. See you then.
See you.
Bye.